Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Michaela Copeland here. More bad news, which I will be putting a link down below in the description box. The Good Lord Project had their appeal against the NHS from the Court of Appeal in London, and it's bad news that the NHS has ruled that it is legal for the long wait for the gender clinic, which it really is shocking because even though I have been seen by the NHS and I now get my hormones from the NHS, it still affects me being part of the trans community, and my transition is still on hold because I'm still waiting to have bottom surgery. And basically, the 18-week target between getting referred and treatment is described as not discrimination, even though I waited 2 weeks short of 4 years, and we're all left in limbo. When I first started hormones on the 21st of February 2018, I was that desperate that I started self-medicating. I did ask my current and my previous GP. I taken her 6 times with bridging hormones, and only after the 6th time of asking was it finally added to my medical notes, which should have been done straight there, and which should have been done the first time I asked. Which um, bridging hormones are there to steer you away from self-medicating because it can be dangerous. You could damage your liver, you could damage your kidneys, you could even strip calcium from your bones. Luckily, when I was self-medding, I did tell my GP what I was taking and what dosage, and lucky enough, everything else turned fine for me. This time, this time 3 years ago, I stopped self-medding because I ran out, and I was going private with Gender GP for 2 years, and I had a look at Charing Cross just out of interest. That only now are they making first appointments for people third in October 2018, which is shocking. There's a long wait before COVID, and people were saying, oh, it's because of COVID. At the time of the first lockdown, I was already waiting 21 and a half months, which is shocking. And yet, what really does bug me is that if you do something that is self-harm, that you cause yourself, like diabetes, or if you eat the wrong type of food, or if you have mental health issues through taking drugs, you get help straight away, even though it's self-caused. And the waiting times for me increased 6, 7 times. That is just for a first appointment. Luckily, I was able to move over to Trans Plus because I was waiting so long for a first appointment. And it's like, are they really sure? Because September the 25th will be 5 years I've legally been Michaela. And what part of I'm not ready? I've been socially transitioning um, like a month after I came out. And I've been I had my blood work like I meant to do. I actually went private. I actually paid for laser sessions myself, which I did have lasers today, and I've got 4 more sessions left with laser clinic. On the 11th of this month, I have got my first session that I get on the NHS, and it took so long to even get organised, and that long wait was so frustrating because I've been disowned by my family for being trans. The only member of the family I talk to is my auntie Eva, and she lives a 3 hour drive away from Hampshire in Northamptonshire. The lockdown was hard for me because I've literally been abandoned by my father, and he allows my younger brother and to stay over. And even though I came out when I was 31, just over 5 years ago, I still get treated like a kid and claimed and got accused of being a bully and forcing them to call me Michaela, and that I had to ask for my dad's permission at 31, which when you're 18 plus, you have full body autonomy. It gets even worse for trans kids, where following the CAS report, the Tavistock gender clinic, which is just for trans kids, was supposed to close by spring this year, is now being moved forward to spring next year, and the new service is not even being set up. And Dr. Hilary Cass, who commissioned the report, she's not training she's not trained in these sort of things. And like last month was Pride Month, and people ask what rights don't trans people have. Well, conversion therapy still isn't banned, and I've actually had conversion therapy. It doesn't work because trans people are trans, gay people are gay, lesbians are lesbians, bi people are bi, and it's, if they do it at church, it's like they're trying to cleanse the soul of all demons, and it just does not work. Which um, before lockdown, for trans men, St Peter's Angiology, they don't know what they've done phalloplasty on a tridoplasty, and I I think only now they just started getting it set up, and so many of the right wing, whether it's GB News, Talk TV, especially with Piers Morgan, the Daily Mail, which is just a dirt rag, are not used that to wipe my butt, the Telegraph, and so on. They keep on attacking us, and I'm sick and tired of just being attacked because I can't help who I am. I knew I was trans during Section 28, which is like, they don't say gay bill in Florida, and several other states in America have started copying, and it banned all LGBT teachings in school. I thought I was the only one, and um, I had what I had a word with one of the teachers at school. She told me that I can't tell you because of some law that the then government introduced. So when I was 8, I told my mum. She beat the holy hell out of me, and when I got this, when I was 10 and a half, when my dad got custody of me, my younger brother, and my older sister, my dad knew I was really uncomfortable, but I could not say because it was a very different time in the 90s when I was a kid. I had the middle child problem. I had an elder sister and a younger brother growing up. And the news that came out of school, the bullying would be a million times worse. And if I did anything feminine, my family used to jump down my throat and bully and tease me. When I was 19, I felt able to start expressing myself, and three times a day, 3 times a day for like 3 years, I used to ask my dad, could I have a private word with him, and I couldn't because my eldest sister was then the favourite, and I just pushed aside, and I was really, really depressed. I was getting bullied at college left, right, and centre, and nothing ever got done about it. My eldest sister was starting saying that I was the reason why her mum and her dad broken up, even though it happened back in the 70s when I wasn't even born. And when I came out on April the 18th, 2018, I felt free because it meant I'm out now and loud and proud, and I do not have to pretend to be someone who I'm not. All started to go wrong for me the 25th of September that year when I legally became Michaela because my eldest brother claimed that I should have asked my dad's permission at 31 and that I should have picked the gender neutral name instead of Michaela. My younger brother is 3 years younger than me. I've never thought I'd get it from him because he is 3 years younger than me, so he's around my age. Instead of getting that I'm forcing him, I'm bullying him, he's hit me, he slaps me, he's pulled my hair, he's grabbed my chest, he's punched me in the chest. And when he grabbed and punched me in the chest, he kept on dead naming me. Even though I was presented as female, because I kept on ignoring him, his result was to grab for my chest, which, because I was pre-hormones at that stage and I was at the social transition stage, I was wearing a bra with breast forms in to make it seem like I had a bit of had a bit of boobage, and I wasn't wearing it because it was late at night, so I was fat chested as anything. And for him to say that I'm forcing him and bullying him, now after over 5 years, my dad finally started calling me his daughter, but he won't allow me to move back in because he claims I will argue with my younger brother. But he only started calling me his sister when he wanted something from me, which was money. And because I refused to give any money to him because he still owes me from 8, 9 years ago, he said to me, "Right, you're dead to me." And the NHS themselves is trying to say that trans kids are going through a phase and the GPs need better training because very few doctors are willing to prescribe hormones, and it is really hard because of the GRA, the planned GIA reforms with the Tory party. They've always hated the trans community. The right-wing media planned out over it's mental illness and there's only two sexes, which the end of this month I got a telephone call with my GP because I do suspect I could be intersex. Excuse me. And I'm still fighting to get what's right, which if it turns out I am intersex and my dad knew about it, I'll be even more angry at him because I should have been told it is my body, and I just don't understand what took my family so long. And I cannot thank the Good Law Project enough because we wait years and years and years and years just for our first appointment. And if you can't afford private healthcare, I know so many who are self-medicating due to the long wait, which can be dangerous. And like some GPs are not very helpful. I think it's such a long wait. Are you sure you want to wait such a long time? Which I personally waiting for to be referred for autism because after reading up on the NHS website, autism in adults, some of the things on that page does say that does ring a bell to me. As ever, I will put a link in the description about the NHS court case so you can read more about it. It really is unfair because we wait ages and ages and ages, and I've already done everything before I was waiting. I was already settled in a social transition, which about a month's time, I have got a call to gender recognition panel to hear any updates on my GRC, which I've had to send loads of documents, and luckily, the area manager Headway Daniel and my Headway key worker Sam, they did help me go through my evidence because it was a total minefield. I had to send both my depots off, statutory declaration, bank statements, um, medical reports, blood work, because my second diagnosis of gender dysphoria I got from my GP, and I thought I include blood work because it does have my NHS number one, and I had to send bank statement off because it's got my name and title on there. If you have done so already, be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, press the subscribe, and turn that bell notification thing on to see more videos in the future. So anyways, this is Miss Michaela Copeland of The Michaela Show. Much love to you, wherever you may be in the world. I'll see you very soon, everyone, where I will be doing a makeup tutorial. Much love, everyone. Bye.